When a man is constantly on your mind but never calls you, it means only one thing. There are moments in life when the presence of a person quietly lingers in your mind. Not because he sits next to you or speaks to you, but because he once did. And now, even in his silence, he is still loud in your heart. You wake up and realize how your thoughts automatically wander to him. You wonder what he might be doing right now. You remember his laughter, the gentleness in his voice when he said your name. Yet days go by, no calls, no messages, no sign, and still he is there. Not physically, but emotionally, mentally, invisibly, woven into the rhythm of your days. And it's confusing, isn't it? Because if he is so often in your thoughts, you should be honest with yourself. So, what does it really mean when a man is constantly in your head but never calls? Let's go deeper, beyond logic, beyond the games people play, into the emotional, psychological and spiritual layers of this connection. First, the mind remembers what the heart has not yet released. You can't stop thinking of him because a part of you has not yet let him go. Not completely, not truly. Sometimes it's not the man himself who returns, but the unspoken energy between you. The feelings you never voiced, the closure you never received, the words that hung in the silence as the connection faded. Our mind repeats stories without a clear ending. And so you ask yourself, why didn't he call? Was it my fault? Did I only imagine the connection? That is your heart searching for peace, but that peace won't come through his call. It will come only when you forgive the silence and move on. Second, his silence does not mean you are forgettable or unimportant. That is the hardest truth. A man can carry you deep in his heart and still remain silent, not because you weren't enough, but because he is not emotionally, mentally, or spiritually ready to face what your presence awakens in him. Some men long for closeness, yet fear the vulnerability that comes with it. Others feel the power of love, but run from the responsibility. And there are men who realize they've found something rare, yet lack the courage to hold it. So if he doesn't call, don't see it as rejection, but as a reflection of his inner state. You may be ready for authenticity. He is still running from it. The distance between you is not born from your lack of worth, but from his lack of maturity. Third, you don't just feel the memory kittle, you feel the energetic connection. When someone stays in your thoughts without contact, it is often because an energetic thread still exists between you. We all leave behind energetic traces, and they, through emotions, glances, shared vulnerability. When the bond was deep, it's not unusual for your soul to still feel his, even in the silence. Perhaps you suddenly feel sadness that isn't yours. Perhaps you think of him at the very moment he thinks of you, or you dream of him when your mind is calm. That is not fantasy, that is vibration. Energy follows attention. The more you feed this connection with your thoughts, the stronger it remains. Only when you redirect your energy back to yourself, to your peace, to your purpose, do you begin to reclaim your space. Then his presence also loses its power. Fourth, sometimes the universe wants to teach you to let go. Not every connection is meant to stay. Some are only there to wake you up. Perhaps this man came into your life not to stay, but to change you, to show you your emotional depth, to remind you of what within you still needs healing, to show you how much love you can give, even if it is not returned in the way you had hoped. The universe often sends people as temporary teachers. Only in hindsight do you see how that silence made you grow. Sometimes it takes the one who doesn't call for you to learn, never again, to wait for a call. Fifth, love does not always mean shared presence. Sometimes it means inner realization. When someone stays in your thoughts too long, it is an invitation to look within. Ask yourself, what does his presence stir in me? Why do I need his validation to feel safe? Do I truly miss him, or the feeling I had when I was with him? Because most of the time, we don't long for the person themselves, but for the feeling they once awakened in us. You miss the safety in his voice, the warmth of being seen, the comfort of being understood. But what if you realize that all of these feelings were always within you, that he only reflected them? Your capacity to love, to hope, to dream. The mind clings to symbols, and right now, he is the symbol through which your heart reminds you of what it longs to feel again. 6. The true meaning. When a man is constantly on your mind but never calls, it means the connection lives more in you than between you. It means you are carrying the energy alone. He may have left, but you still hold on to the echo. That is not weakness. It is proof of how deeply you can love, how loyal your heart is, how devoted your spirit becomes when someone touches it. But love does not mean waiting for someone to remember. Love means remembering yourself even when he is silent. It is time to stop waiting and instead listen to the version of yourself that is ready to heal. This version deserves peace, freedom, love, not for the one who is silent, but for herself. 7. The emotional truth he never admits. When a man doesn't call, it doesn't always mean he doesn't care. Sometimes he really does think of you. He scrolls through your photos, hears your laughter in his mind, wonders if you've moved on. Yet pride holds him back. Fear holds him back. His ego holds him back. Maybe he even tells himself, if she really wanted me, she would reach out, and it's exactly there that both lose. One in silence, the other in waiting. Men are often taught to suppress feelings, to move on quickly, to confuse indifference with strength. But beneath that facade, many suffer just like you. They just hide it deeper. So never mistake his silence for lack of feeling. It may not be the absence of emotion, but the absence of courage. 8. Healing begins when you stop asking why and start saying, thank you. The day you stop asking, why didn't he call, and start saying, thank you for showing me what I deserve, is the day your healing process begins. You realize how his absence created space for you to find yourself, how his silence forced you to hear your own voice, how his distance led you to self-love, boundaries, and inner strength. You become lighter, not because you forgot him, but because you learned to carry the memory without pain. And one day you will think of him again, not with longing, but with calm understanding. Then you will know he was not the destination, but only a lesson on your path. 9. The quiet power of letting go. Letting go does not mean erasing the connection. It means freeing your idea of how it should have been. It is the quiet decision. I can miss you and still move forward. I can think of you and still choose peace. I can love you and love myself even more. That is the power that turns heartbreak into wisdom, a strength no phone call in the world could ever give you. 10. The moment you reclaim your energy. When you finally accept that he may never call, something magical happens. You stop waiting. You stop constantly checking your phone. You no longer search for signs in every little thing, and in that space, your energy returns to you. You begin to see beauty again. In music, in sunsets, in your reflection, you reconnect with friends, with laughter, with new possibilities. You become yourself again, not the woman who waits, but the woman who lives. And it is exactly then that love finds its way back, not through him, but through the universe, through new beginnings, through the quiet glow of your self-respect. Final words. When a man is constantly on your mind but never calls you, you stand at a crossroads between holding on and healing. He may have been a beautiful chapter, but never the whole book. So close this chapter with dignity. Send love or silence, and remind yourself every day. The right one will never leave you uncertain about whether you matter. He will show you, not with words, but with his presence. Until then, fall in love with the peace that comes when you finally let go. Because when you stop waiting for his call, you finally begin to listen to your own soul. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support.